Before we get into the video, I need to let you know that I made a Hakari domain expansion explain video that's pretty short. So if you need to, you can watch that and then come back to this video. Because I'm not going to lie, this entire chapter was basically explaining Hakari's technique. And I kind of didn't want to talk about the chapter. But if I was to talk about his technique in this one, it would be way too long. So go ahead, check that out, and then come back to this video. Chapter 183 of Jujutsu Kaisen has dropped after the Golden Week break. And this is definitely going to be a mixed chapter probably for a lot of people because, yeah, basically Hakari's technique is pretty complex on the first read. After a couple reads, it's actually pretty simple-ish to kind of understand, but I'm just going to say it right now. I think it's a very cool domain and a very cool technique. It's very eccentric. It's very colorful. I love, obviously, the gambling aspect of it. And the pachinko machine was definitely something I probably should have expected since they don't have normal, for the most part. Pachinko machines are more popular in Japan than regular like slot machines, plus gambling with money is illegal over there. But I like the romance manga theme layout of it, the stages, the effects of it, the chants. I like all of it, and the whole one big loop thing, which I kind of want to see that against a stronger opponent instead of someone like Charles. That's kind of like my one thing about this domain, is how would this work against somebody incredibly strong. The technique itself, with the shutters, the little green ball or the golden ball or the red one, it's basically a showcase of one heck of a domain of all the possibilities Giga can come up with in terms of making like a gambling or casino type domain. And I can see why the higher ups freaking hated Hakari's technique. I mean, imagine explaining this technique off the first time you meet him, and then you know how they are and they're stuck in their old ways. They probably hated him off the rip. And then throw in the fact that Kirara's was pretty unique in itself, but she got hers revealed. So it's actually, things are really starting to come together as, you know, some of these techniques and the reasonings behind them. That's always pretty cool. Also, I like the fact that Charles in this domain was confused, even though the rules are already in place in his mind, which I guess happens to everybody. But I like how even though he's kind of trying to adapt to these rules and how everything is happening, like for example, when he saw the red doors come out from that green ball, he instantly thought that it's going to be a low hype level preview. So he kind of anticipated that. And then when he saw the golden door, he thought it was going to be a high level one, but then ended up being pretty low. It's the first one. It's the low one. I'm liking like the possibilities of how this domain is. I can definitely see why at the end of chapter 182 that it says that you cannot predict his domain, because literally all of these, nothing is really predictable at all, which is probably why this domain for him is very hard to deal with, because nothing is guaranteed in his domain. Also, visually, I'm a fan of this whole romance manga thing and how all the scenes were playing out while they were fighting. I think that's gonna be so dope in the anime. I can't wait. Also, like I said, with the colors and everything like that, it's gonna be a very probably colorful themed domain, because there's so many things they could do with it in terms of how they want to make it look. It's like aesthetic wise, the possibilities are endless with this thing. And then like the domain isn't exactly guaranteed to work for Hakari, but honestly, I'm really interested to see what the jackpot is, because I hope personally the jackpot isn't just him getting physically stronger as he goes, because that's going to be kind of a letdown for me, because it's not, because we know Hakari is supposed to be the second strongest after Yuta in terms of the sorcerers for the students. And if it's kind of just that, it would fit his brawler aesthetic to him, but I don't know, I just feel like it should be something a little bit more, and it might be. We'll just have to wait. I'll just kind of have to point out that this domain did kind of give me some flashbacks of Hunter x Hunter and Bleach, which we all know Gege is a big fan of. Because if you've seen Bleach, specifically in the Fullbringer arc, that little kid Shishigawara and his like 777 lucky jackpot like move, basically when he randomly can get the jackpot in his abilities, he can get like an extremely devastating punch or whatever. Like it kind of reminded me of that and Knuckles' ability in Hunter x Hunter, which is also kind of luck based. So it did definitely remind me of those two. Also, I gotta appreciate the whole Charles touch of him and his character with the manga that Hakari was using his pachinko based off of. That he was, you know, he thinks Hakari's desecrating the manga and it's sacrilegious what he's doing, as he's using it for gambling content and questioning if he read the material and all this stuff. And he's getting even more like, you know, upset about that. I'm, following along. I'm kind of liking where Charles is going as a character, although he still, to me, feels like fodder. But I mean, it is what it is. If he is fodder, I mean, no one's really gonna miss Charles like that. But another thing I gotta touch on, I wonder what is Hakari's actual curse technique, because I feel like the domain is the complete version of his curse technique, but the curse technique on its own is something similar but a little bit different. Because if you remember, I want to say it was 156 where he fought Yuji a little bit, right before that he beat him up. He threw the glass at Yuji and then the shutters popped up. Now I wonder, can his curse technique, his official one, can he summon the shutters with anything he throws, or can he just, bring them up automatically? That's something I hope we kind of get revealed, because his domain is, like I said, it's pretty cool, but I gotta know what his actual curse technique is on a ground level, because that's kind of what it feels like, that his curse technique and his domain are kind of acting as one. Similar to Higuruma, who has another one of these more so setup type domains. Also, I like the last bit of dialogue with the trash talk Charles tried to get, because he did land a blow on Hakari at the end, saying that if victory depended on skill and not luck, you might have won. But Hakari states a line that you need skill in order to capitalize on your luck, that's him completely 100%. I like that Hakari kind of wears his heart on his sleeve. What you see is kind of what you get with him in a way. And I don't see this fight going on for too long, considering that not only did he destroy Charles' little G staff with his kick after the power up that he got and busted him open. I'm telling you, man, something about you don't want to get kicked in the face with a Tim. I'm telling you, it ain't nothing fun. So add on to that, yeah, Charles is gonna be done probably by next chapter, and hopefully soon we get the big Kashimo showdown. I got a video on that as well, but hey, that's all I'm really waiting for. I can only imagine what the heck Kashimo would be like in this domain. Also, I wonder, does his domain change does it stay as a romance manga, or can it change like a different into something entirely different? That's something I think that would be cool if he can actually do that. If not, it's okay. But hey, possibilities are endless. So that was all I really had to say on this chapter. Once again, it's pretty much an Hakari, curse technique explanation thing. More content as well is always coming to the channel. Jujutsu Kaisen and newer gen anime as well. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.